time on your hands, you just like, whoo, child, what in the world? So here's the thing: it's been about 3 weeks since I've been out because I've been sick. So first, it was a couple of things going on. The first thing, I had some type of stomach bug. I don't know what the heck was going on with that, but I had a stomach bug for about a week and a half. No, it ain't no baby, nothing like that, baby. When I tell you I've been gave those days up, listen, I've been put that foolishness on the shelf. So that was not the issue. I had some type of stomach bug and I don't know what the heck was going on. But nevertheless, once I got better from there, I'm like, oh yes, baby, that stuff. Because listen, that had me flat out on my back. Once I got over that, I'm like, okay, yes, up. I'm about to hit these streets, baby. The streets was calling my name, or so I thought. So I'm preparing to go to the streets and go out in the streets and all this and that. And then I feel um a bump on my leg, in my thigh, in between my thigh, where right there, the good part, right there where you walk, and that good ish. When if you got thick thighs, the part where it rubs together, that's where I felt a little bump, and I'm just like, oh God, please no, say it ain't so. Well, it turned out it was so. You all, I ended up getting another boil in between my thigh, and when I tell you all that ish. Woo, child, that is right there ain't no flipping joke. Like, no joke at all. So, I couldn't walk for over a week. When I tell you all that thing had got so big, it was like the size of a golf ball. And this is not my first time getting a boil. So, I have to figure out why I'm forming them, because this is like my sixth, maybe seventh boil. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So I didn't go to the doctor this time because it was in the same exact spot on my leg that it was when because I just had one like back in February or March of this year. I just had one. So I didn't even waste my time going to the doctor, because when I went back in February, they were not able to do anything. They sent my dumb butt back home and gave me some self remedy um, instructions because of where it was sitting. So what they told me was, if they cut it, then if that's not where the port is or the plug is that makes the fluid come out, then I'm going to be in twice as much pain. I'm going to still have the boil because they would have cut in the wrong place. And then I'm still going to have to nurse the womb in which they cut it. So they're like, basically, you let us know. Do you want to get cut and you want to take a chance on us being able to find the right spot? Do you want us to do that? Or do you want to just say, you know what? Forget it. I'll just take my chances and I will let it bust. Well, you all, let me tell you this. I am not a gambler. You are not. I said, so wait a minute. So I can be in twice as much pain. So you trying to tell me, listen here, pink lady, you trying to tell me that I can not only still have this boil that is extremely painful, okay? Yes, I can still have that. But if you cut me and then you cut me in the wrong place, and that's not where the port is, then I'm going to be in twice as much pain. I said, you know what? I'll keep the pain that I'm in for 2000, Alex. I'm going to go head back home. Now, I went home and I self remedied and I did what they said, and it ended up just, it's a time issue. For me, the span from when it goes to like a little bump to, listen, you could be going to the upper room. For me, it's about the span of a week. So a week, a little over a week for me, from A to, to it's done. So I'm like, well, there's no purpose in me even going to the doctor this time, because first of all, how am I going to get down the stairs? Because I cannot walk with this ish between you all, let me tell y'all, I was walking like this. I was standing up, I was walking, And I was just, I'm telling you, I was just like, I was leaned over, just my lower back. I didn't want to sit. I couldn't even sit down. So it was on my right leg. So I'm like this, I'm like this. I got my leg all propped. That's all I could do was prop my leg up. And then it got to the point where it got so painful to even sit like this. So all I was doing was lying down and I would have my leg propped up. I'm just like, oh, y'all, I meant to put some cute shoes on, but I forgot them. But nevertheless, I had my leg propped up. So when it was all said and done, I'm telling y'all, my right hip was down. I couldn't even walk. My lower back, my spine, it was like it was an entire mess, all in order to avoid pain on my thigh. Now I can touch it. It doesn't even hurt. It's like nothing even happened. It's like there was no foolishness, nothing going on there. So that's what's going on with my thigh. Like there was nothing going on. Now that it's healed and it's over with and it burst. So what I finally did to get over it, I just had to I was putting hot a heating pad. I put the heating pad as hot as I can take it. Just let it right there, and I just had the little remote control, and I was just turn the heat up to as far as I can get. I thought I was gonna have third-degree burns on my thigh because I'm just like, I don't care how hot this thing get, I have to get rid of this. It was very painful with the heating pad laying right there. Everything was painful. I didn't take any medication for pain simply because you all now, and I was really in a lot of pain and it was some serious pain, and I know I'm definitely a weirdo because I don't really like taking medicine. I don't. It's only one thing that I've encountered thus far that makes me say, you know what, I'm gonna take medicine. I don't care what's going on. And you all fellas, y'all may want to put your fingers in your ears. But these menstrual cramps, baby, when I tell you, you can give me, listen, I will take street drugs to get rid of those cramps because you know why? Those cramps are of the devil, okay? The cramps really, truly are of the devil, and I'm not going to be able to deal with it. So, cramps, listen, I look, all bets are off. So all situations, with the exception of cramps, I don't really mess around with the medication. So I kind of troopered through the pain with the boil and everything. So how the process went, so it was just a time, it was just a time thing. And it's just like it had to get to the point where it filled up and then it eventually burst. And once it bursts, that's when the relief comes. Once it bursts, you are at home plate. So I just had to wait. It was just like a waiting game. And every day there was more and more fluid getting in, filling up. So it ended up getting, like I said, it was really big. But when that thing burst, and I had to take a bath. I took an Epsom salt bath, but I only took one Epsom salt bath because it was painful to get in there. I was just like, now listen, if I get in here, what's going to happen if I can't get out? See, that's what you got to be thinking about. I can get in here, but it's going to be very interesting to see if I can get out. So, thankfully I was able to manage to get in and to get out, you know, safely, and everything worked out. And it's like immediately after the hot bath, that's when it burst. And almost immediately, once all of that infection and all that crap came out, it was like nothing had ever happened. Like the next day, I got up and I was able to walk and just life was good. And I've been walking and sitting up ever since. I had to do some massage therapy techniques on my lower back and my spine because that was really hurting from the way I had been sitting and leaning for the past week. And then my hip area that was hurting. I was just like, I'm just like an old '69 Capri Classic, just breaking down. Every time you turn around, it's some ish going on. But you all, listen, I made it through. I made it through, and I'm back, and I have nothing but great hot topics to talk about because you all, listen, these celebrities have been showing these some of these celebrities have been cutting up, and I have nothing but trash to talk about the foolishness that these celebrities have been going through. So guys, listen, we're going to take a short musical break, and when we return, we about to get into it. We are about to get into it. So listen, also I have a special guest that's joining me tonight. So we definitely have a great show lined up. I'll take a short musical break. And when we return, we got all these hot topics and ish. You're listening to the Jaye Spot.
Oh, girl, come on for you. Me love you for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Me do what jump me for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Me love you for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Hey.
All right. Yes, listen, guys. So we definitely are about to get into it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Listen. Guys, please do me a favor again. Go to our YouTube channel, like and follow our channel there. That's the Jaye Spot Radio. Go to our Facebook, like and follow us there, the Jaye Spot. Go to Instagram, like and follow us, the Jaye Spot Radio. Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Guys, listen. You all, do anybody want to tell me what is going on with this Ayesha Curry? What is, look. I'm trying to figure out what is her problem. Like, look, at this point, I am so tired of her talking all this foolishness about Steph Curry. I really am. Ma'am, I'm like, it's like this. It's a no-brainer. At this point, baby, if you don't really want to be with that man, take your little bags and because listen, there's plenty of chicks that will love to pick up where you left off. There are plenty of chicks that are willing to replace you, baby girl. Plenty of chicks. So please stop acting like you're doing this brother a favor by being with him. The stuff that she is revealing she's reminding me of Jada Pinkett. I'm like, what the heck do you guys like? I mean, is it that deep? Like, if you didn't want to marry this guy or he wasn't your type, you wasn't ready to have kids or you didn't want to have kids or you didn't see that for your life. So when you got in the delivery room and you popped out that one baby, at that point, you could have said, you know what? This ain't the life I'm trying to live. I ain't on this bull junkie. And you could have bounced. But you didn't. You had about what? They got about 4 or 5 kids. You done had all this man's babies. You done had full of gut full of this man's baby. And you don't have the respect for him, your family, or your marriage to whatever problems that you have. Why don't you go talk to a counselor? Why are you going on podcasts and TV shows and talk shows and airing your dirty laundry? Like, listen, I'm going to tell y'all who she need to talk to. She need to talk to Tia Mowry. Tia, please tell Ayesha Curry that these streets is not where she want to be. Please tell her that these streets are not where she think it is, and the streets are not checking for her. See, Tia Mowry had to learn the hard way. She divorced that good man that she had, and she trolloped around for about a year or so. And then she went back. She had to humble herself, go back and apologize to that man as she should to get her man back because she thought that, the housewife, all this other ish that the men and the housewife drama and ish that, that they see going on, that was going to apply to them. Ma'am, it didn't and it won't. Aisha Curry, you're the same way. This is not what you want. And I know Cedric, you saying she ain't going nowhere. She's not. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you this. She will be very heartbroken if Steph Curry start moving like a lot of these trifling men out here move. See, she's gonna be very, very sick to her stomach if he start popping up with these little side chicks and side babies and all this other ish. And I'm gonna say it just like this. Aisha, we're not talking about Steph. We're not gonna bash him. We're not coming against him. We're not doing any of that. We're gonna be like, well, she brought this ish on herself. She opened up Pandora's box, and so this is just what she get. This is what she get. This, you open this up. If you telling people what you not happy about with your man, do you know there's a chicken head out there? They out there waiting. But every time you bash your man, this is you calling them birds. You're calling them birds every time you bash this good man. You calling them. So when they answer and when he allows it, because they can only do what he allows them to do, but when you start seeing these pictures and all of this other ish popping up, you're going to feel real crazy. Cedric, you're saying she caught him checking when he was away at the Olympics. Listen, it's going to be more than the Olympics. See, now here's the thing. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I think that Steph ain't got his own little stash on the side? He do. I think that Steph got some stuff going on the side. That's just me. He's young, rich, and famous. He's an athlete. He's black. He got some stuff going on. However, I believe that he respects his wife and he respects his family. So I believe that he has got these chicks papered up. What you mean, Jay, papered up? These chicks have had to sign a non-disclosure agreement so they cannot mention nothing about what he has going on, none of his indiscretions, whatever it is that he has going on. They have to take it to the Lord in prayer. But if you ever utter a word to the public, you will be sued because he got them papered up. So don't think for 1 second, I don't think that he got his own fair share of ish going on, because I do believe that he has some stuff going on. But out of respect for her, if you can call that respect, he hasn't let it come out and he got these chicks in order. But the more she runs her mouth, I'm just like, well, you know what? If Steph decides to let one or two chicken heads out the hen, out the coop, that's gonna be Asia's fault. Like we're not getting mad at him. We're not gonna get mad at him because of what you're saying and what you're doing. So Asia, listen, Aisha, why do I keep calling her Asia? Because she sounds like she should be from Asia. Aisha, listen, if you don't want to be with that man, let him go. If you are going to be with him because you guys have so much time together, respect yourself and your husband enough to stop spreading your dirty laundry and all this craziness, on all these talk shows and these podcasts and stuff. Stop doing that, because it's not a good look for you. It's not a good look for your kids. Your kids are watching this. I mean, can you imagine how her kids may feel when she's saying, oh, well, I never wanted to be a mom. Well, ma'am, why you didn't swallow these kids before they got here? It's too late now. You knew what to do to prevent having kids. So don't wait till the kids get here now. Oh, well, I never really wanted to have kids. I didn't see this for my life. Wah, 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 womp, 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 like womp, 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 girl, cry us a doggone river. So listen, Aisha, get off of it. Either listen, hush and be happy, go bake some cookies, change a diaper, or do something. But Get up off of this talking negative about your husband. And if you continue to have those many problems and you're still griping about this is not where I wanted to be, leave. Leave. Y'all got big kids. Take the little girl, take whatever little underage kids, or if you didn't really want to be a mom, leave. He got the money to hire a nanny and this and that. You leave, boo, and you go live what you feel is your best life. And I promise you, if you leave and you get on the other side of Steph Curry's money, you gonna see that this ish was not all what you thought it was cracked up to be. This ish is not what you think. Listen, the men, they not checking for you. Listen, they not scared of, listen, if a man was checking for you, honey, if they thought that you was something worth checking out, Steph don't scare nobody. The men will still be hitting you up if they wanted to. But again, that just lets you know that's you test the room and it's letting you know what? Yeah, I may need to stay over here. I may need to stay over here. Cuz this is not where I want to be. I'm married to this man right now and I'm not getting no action. Cuz let me tell you something. Listen, if men find you attractive, a ring ain't gonna stop that. A ring ain't gonna stop nobody from coming at you or paying you a compliment. So if you're not getting compliments and if you ain't getting those backhand flirts and stuff now while you're married, I can promise you, if you let stuff go, it that's not gonna open the door. You still ain't gonna get no action. Matter of fact, you're gonna be invisible because at least with him they see you. But you go by yourself, you just gonna be a thick chick that the head you gonna be Steph Curry's thick X. That's all you gonna be. And I think that you're very pretty, but I think you're a little loose upstairs. I don't think you thought about your strategy. I don't think you thought about that ish too well. Now listen, speaking of thinking of ish too well and too much, what do you all think about this? So Cam Newton says that he asked his girlfriend for a list of her previous partners before their relationship. He said, I want to walk with my chest high. He said, I don't want to walk into a room and not know if you've been with somebody in this room. What do you all think of that? Do you think that, like, he also says, if you had any type of intimate experiences with people that I know, I need to know that. I'm owed that. And then he asked her also to share her body count, which she did. What do you all think about that? I don't listen. Cam Newton, he comes off to me as a weird bird. Like, I mean, he's one of those dudes that because he got he still got some stuff that needs to be fixed. And if he doesn't, the therapist that he's seeing clearly is there for clout because this man needs some serious help. And now I respect him as a ball player and even as a podcaster and a talk show host. But I would be remiss to not acknowledge that, I believe that something is wrong with him. Like emotionally, there is some stuff off with this brother. And he can get away with it because he has money. So the way he throws other people off or the way he shuts other people's arguments down or their points down, well, look at me, I got this. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have all that money. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But you also have a whole bunch of emotional, psychological, narcissistic control issues. Like, and then the way his regard for women. You got all of these baby mamas and you ain't interested in marrying none of them. And here's the thing, I give no pushback to him about that because if he's letting these women know that I don't believe in marriage. I don't do marriage. We will be forever partners and I'm going to commit to you and this and that, but I'm never going to marry you and all this and that. If these chicks agree to that, rock out. Like, I don't care. If you state that ish up front and she willingly walks down there like a lost duck, you walk, listen, I have no problem with that. By all means, keep on rocking out because you told her what it was. She agreed with it, and now there she is. But it's something weird about him. Now, the one thing that I will say, the part that I'm okay with, and that's just if it comes up. And you all let me know what you think about this. But if I'm in a room and you know that you done been with somebody and they know, like, you know them, and they don't let these people come be in my face and not give me the heads up. That's the only part that I would say, you know what? I can rock with that. But as far as you asking her what her body count is, I mean, did you disclose that information to her? Does she have the right to ask you how many women you've been with and what's your body count and all this and that? Does she have the right to ask you the same thing that you asked of her? If she has the right to do that, then rock out. But some part of me, for some reason, I feel as though the answer would be no to that. He doesn't believe that she has the right to do that. He believes that he has the right because he's the breadwinner. So he gets to ask the questions and he gets to control everything. And I just think that it's a little weird. So whenever I hear him talk, I'm always like, dang, he like who hurt him? Like something happened to him when he was there's definitely some childhood trauma there. There's something definitely happened with him when he was younger, and it's affecting, it's showing up in him today. But would you all want to know your partner's body count? Or would you want to know, like, if you were in a social setting, would you ask your partner, like, okay, just give me a heads up. Have you been with some? Because, see, to me, if you got to ask somebody that, like, okay, give me a heads up. Have you been with somebody up in here? To me, you kind of know, like, your person got friendly hoo-ha. Like, if, what, why would that come up? Why would that, like, I don't understand. Why would that come up? Like, who I've been with is my business, just like who you've been with is your business. But I'm finding that this question is coming up a lot with a lot of men these days. This is something that they want to know, which is going to tie into what we're talking about later on tonight, celibacy. You're darned if you do, and you darned if you don't. So if you're celibate and you say you're not sleeping around, then something wrong with you. Oh, you done been ran through so you don't want to. Versus now, okay, well, listen, I just don't want to, because if you ever ask me this question, I don't want to have to explain, which I don't believe an adult should have to explain anything. Like, whatever I did before you, it was before you, and it's none ya. It's none of your goddamn business what was done before you if it doesn't affect you. Now, the one thing is, if there was somebody, because of the close knit and the type of industry that they're in, I can see how you would say, listen, I know you have dated, you've had a few other celebrity boyfriends and stuff like that. All I'm asking is that if we ever get in a room, and that may be something that you could put as a disclaimer, if we ever get in a room with somebody and you've been with that person, I just ask that you give me a heads up so that I can, so I can be aware, so I don't have all this weird ish going on around me. So on YouTube, we have Alpha, the first one is saying double standards exist because men and women are not equal. So what applies to men does not always apply to women, and vice versa. He says that come up because men and women are not equal. And I can understand that. I can totally understand the and respect the double standards. I can. However, I think that what if it's good enough for me to ask, if it's good enough for him to ask her those questions and he desires an answer, then he should be willing to do the same thing. He should be willing to go through the same questions and answers and the scrutiny that he is putting her through. He should be willing to go through the same thing. But I will admit, it would be helpful, like if you've been with somebody, because I wouldn't want to walk in a room and dude, I've been with everybody. And I've been in a situation like that with a guy. We were just friends and we were cool. And I know he was a known, listen, he had some community, he had some community slong dong, and everybody knew that. But he and I, we were cool. We were always friends. We had been friends since our teenage years. So it was never a romantic involvement. But I would always get uncomfortable when we would go out just to hang out because he'd been with everybody. Like, we would be sitting down, we'd have dinner or lunch or whatever it is that we were doing. And, the women, like, just plenty of women just fawning all over him. And then I get the backstories. I'm just like, is it anybody that you haven't been with? Because I'm like, I don't want to be sitting up here looking like I'm a dummy, even though we just friends. They don't know that we're just friends. She may be saying, ooh, poor girl. Here's another victim. Here's another conquest. When we're just cool, but it's just the perception. Sometimes perception means a lot. So I can understand if he were to ask that question, or someone was to ask that question, if you're going into a big social setting, and especially with these celebrities, and she's known for being, if she's known for having, multiple famous boyfriends, then I could see how he could ask that of her. Listen, if we ever get somewhere and you've been intimate with anybody in here, I would appreciate a heads up, because the last thing you want is for somebody to be in your face and knowing he done smashed her all up and down. That would be very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. But to go through the whole, listen, I want a list of the names of the people that you've been through. I'm like, boy, bye. When you give me your list, then I give you my list. How about that? When you write your list down, you type your list up, then you can come talk to me about my list. But don't come over here. But ladies, I'm gonna say this as a general rule of thumb today, like, when you get these dudes, and this is just my opinion, and fellas, let me know, am I wrong for thinking like this? But when you get these dudes that are so concerned about who you did and what you did before them, to me, that's a red flag. What do you all think about that? Fellas, let me know. Is that a red flag, or do you all feel like, you know what? Listen, I need to know what it is that I'm getting involved with, so that I can make an informed decision. And does that come in the form of knowing who she was intimate with before you? And are you willing to give that same information? Because if they don't have any deadly diseases, then I feel like whatever happened, that happened. Now, the only thing that I would say that, listen, please let a sister know. Okay, I'm just asking. I won't ask unless it's been put in my spirit, unless you're doing something that is pricking my spidey senses to ask you this question. But the question would be about your past, that would be important to me, is if you have been with the same sex, if you've been, listen, Yes, God forgives you. Everybody, yes, Lord. If that you don't, I was like this in my past. Like, listen, I want to I have a right to know. I feel like I have a right to know that. I feel like, ladies, he would have a right to know that. Jay, why would they have a right to know that? Here's why they would have a right to know that. Because if you tell me you going out of town and you going on a boys trip with Tyrone, and I'm not thinking nothing of it, because man, Tyrone, that's your boy. But if I find out that you and Tyrone used to mess around, wait a minute. Wait a doggone minute. You and Tyrone used to mess around. I think I have a right to know that. I think I have a right to know if you and Tyrone have been together. So that's all my thing is. It's just like, it's not. That's a very fine. It's so we're gonna proceed situation by situation, but as a general rule of thumb, if you decide to ask what a person's body count is, or or you want to know those things, then you have to be prepared to answer those questions yourself. Now, Leo, you're saying, tell me everything up front. And you saying, I don't want to be another victim. Let a brother know. Let a brother know, like, what information do you expect to know? Like, if it's her past, if it's nothing that, if she doesn't have anything that could kill you, or if she doesn't have any type of disease, is she clean? What else do you need to know? Is the number, do you have a right to know her number? Does she have a right to know your number? Because I think that question primarily comes up with men primary. And I think that men that, I don't know, but to me, I think that men that have self-esteem and insecurity issues, I think those are the guy or controlling guys. But still, to me, that goes back to some type of self-esteem issue. Those are the guys that want to know what's going on, what done went on in your nether regions before they got there. Like, her hoo-ha totally has nothing to do with you. And why are you concerned about not your business? Like, mind the business and we can proceed. But if you're so you, then how are you ever going to move forward? And we're going to take a short musical break. When we return, we have more hot topics to get into. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time. Yes, you got to let me know. Listen, you want to know.
Congo girl, come on for you. Self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self me do what jump me for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Hey, let me tell you now. Oh, the Congo girl, I'm a wind up every tune, dancing in my blood. Dancing in my blood, in the African way. Got so much F I can share. Oh, girl, come on for you. Self me love you. Girl, come on for you. Self me do what jump me for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Self me love you for true. Oh, girl, come on for you. Hey, spirit out on the road. You can't talk what you don't know. Don't jump in me so. What's what we gotta do? Worry out to my heart. Vibrate like a jump from start. All the Congo no ma. The energy drink like a work of art. Congo girl, come on for you. Self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self me do what jam me for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Self me love you for true. Congo girl, come on for you. Hey, ina go down low, ina go down low, ina go down low. So water give me some. Ina go down low, ina go down, ina go down low. on for you. Savage, you know what, jamming for you. Come on, girl, come on for you. Savage, me love you for you. Come on, girl, come on for you, hey.
where we are strengthening relationships and families one conversation at a time. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to get my cameras ready. Y'all, sorry, y'all finna see all of this because I thought I had everything situated. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. I got a special guest with me today. Oh, yeah. See, y'all look at this. And I call myself having it all situated. But hold on.
You are all good.
Y'all, I'm getting it together so they can see. Cedric, can y'all see on YouTube? Let me see. Because I can see. Okay. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Look at this. Oh,
look at God.
Won't he do it? See, he will make a way out of no way all the time.
He always does.
But listen, you all, thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our page and like our page at the Jaye Spot. Follow us on Twitter at Jaye Spot. Also, follow us on Instagram at the Jaye Spot. And Jay is spelled Jaye for all three. Then go right to YouTube. Like and follow our channel there, guys. Subscribe to our channel. That's the Jaye Spot Radio, Jaye. Guys, listen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tonight, I have a special guest. Listen, actor, model, and former host of Dancing with the Stars and dancer, etc., etc. Andre Bellows. How you doing today, Andre?
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
I love coming here. This is my ritual. I kid you not. Every time we hit the promo run, the first stop, I'm like, wait, Jaye Spot.
I love it.
I'm not kidding you. I love coming here.
I love having
and thank you for always having me.
Thank you so much. So tell everybody about yourself and what you got going on and how we can vote for you.
Oh, God bless you. Thank you for sharing the platform. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Andre Bellows. I'm just your regular average guy out here living his dreams. And I am an actor, but right now I'm trying to put myself in the forefront with my style and my fashion. I'm in a new contest just online. Still kind of cool, though, hosted by the legendary Elton John. And basically everyone is submitting their best pictures to be considered for style icon of, I believe, 2026, if I'm not mistaken. And there's some prizes that go along with it. And everyone's been doing a great job. It's all the votes are free, but if you decide to donate for extra votes, it's a great cause. It's for the Elton John AIDS Foundation. And I'm super excited to do it. I know people probably think I'm full of it, but I don't care about winning. I just do these contests because I have a great time doing them.
So tell us how we can vote.
Yes, you can go on www.styleicon.com. Let me get the exact link.
Yes, and if we'll have that link dropped in the comment section. So please, definitely, guys, make sure you log on to vote. Andre Bellows, Bellos, and we'll have that link dropped. But guys, listen, it's going to be amazing. So definitely support. You can, there's a free level to vote, and then there are also multiple other levels that you can choose to donate and vote, and it's for a good cause. So definitely be sure to stop by when he drops the link, and then definitely support with that, because again, we want to be more givers. Listen, especially if you are blessed. Now, you may think that you're not. You may need a little something, but as the old folks used to always tell us, be grateful, because it's somebody else that's worse off than you. You listen, if you can afford to go out to the restaurant every day, you are more blessed than most people than you realize. If you can go and afford to buy a $10 latte every day. Honey, you are doing, listen, okay? Listen, the money, one cup of coffee, sacrifice one cup of coffee for a day, and that can change somebody else's life. Because I'm telling you, listen, I know when I'm up in these coffee chains, every time I say, you know what, I'm gonna change my life. I'm changing my life. I said, you know what? I'm going to change my life because
It's expensive.
I'm like, you should not have to make life-changing decisions. I said, okay, well, do I do a venti or do I do a tall in a sandwich or a venti? I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's true. Give me a venti. But but I'm saying it's the amount that you spend to do something like that, all of the luxuries and things like that we take for granted.
Yeah.
Somebody else would love to be in our shoes. So definitely just make sure that you jump on and definitely vote and help support this awesome cause. Guys, listen, thank you so much. We're going to take a short musical break. And when we return, we're getting into it. I have some more hot topics because again, I've been on the sick and shut in, not 1 week, not 2 weeks, but 3 weeks. 3 weeks. So I had nothing but time to talk. I have nothing but time to figure out what I can talk to you all about. You're listening to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and family, one conversation at a time. Yes, guys, listen, I'm getting to it.
Cause you got me tripping, I've been fucking up for a minute. Yeah, you got into my head, got the whole thing spinning. I'm repeating myself. I hate repeating myself. I just hate repeating myself. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back in, baby. I just hate repeating myself. I hate repeating myself. Cause you got me tripping, I've been fucking up for a minute. Yeah, you got into my head, got the whole thing spinning. I'm repeating myself. I hate repeating myself. I just hate repeating myself. I just hate repeating myself. I hate repeating myself. Every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back in, baby. I just hate repeating myself. I hate repeating myself.
Listen.
You got me tripping, I've been fucking up for a minute. Yeah, you got into
Welcome back to the Jaye Spot, where we are strengthening relationships and families, one conversation at a time, on IntellectualRadio.com. We are an iHeart station. I'm your host, Jay. You all sitting next to me tonight, we have Andre Bellos that is joining us tonight. Thank you so much. He is a good friend of the show, so be sure to support. Andre, tell them again how they can vote and what you got going on.
Yes, thanks for having me on. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Andre Bellos, and I'm on the show today talking about a new contest I'm in about my fashion. It's styleicon.com, hosted by Elton John, and all the votes are free. If you decide to donate, it's going to benefit the Elton John AIDS Foundation, so it's a great cause, and you can vote for me at styleicon.com /2025 Andre Bellos. I know I did not get that right. And I know I butchered it, but y'all gonna have to bear with me. I don't have it memorized, but I sent the link to Jay, and in a couple minutes, she gonna put it in the chat box,
Yes,
and you
yes,
guys
yes,
can
yes,
vote for me.
yes.
Don't
Please
hold it
do.
against me. They're gonna be like, I'm not
Please.
voting for him if he don't have that link
No,
memorized.
they not gonna do. They not see. They love the
Oh,
people.
Lordy.
Anything. If they can get me to shut up, because some of them be like, listen, it's some of the, I have a few male bashers, women bashers that I feel like they just don't like women. But sometimes, every now and again, I'll say something that'll put them on my side. So I think when I was down and out and I was sick, I think that they were rocking with me. But when I get 100%, that's when I start getting the you know what, CJ, this I be trying to tell you, this is why I don't, I start getting those type of messages. So we have an understanding. I gotta, like I said, it's a few guys out there that just, if they could donate to have me to be quiet, they would. You know who you are, so please definitely support. Now listen, you all, speaking of support, I need you all, listen, you all have to help me. Ladies, what would you do in this situation? And fellas, I want you to tell me, what would you expect a woman to do in this situation? If you're on a date with a man and his credit card declines, do you pay for the whole meal or just your meal? So fellas, I want to know, what would you expect her to do? And ladies, what would you do? So Andre, what would you do if you were in that situation? What would you like to see happen?
So my card is declined?
Yes, the man's card is declined.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, well, I would hope in this situation, if I was, let's say I was into women and I was dating a girl and we had gone out to eat, and I obviously,
or if you're dating whoever, like,
right,
yeah, from your situation, what would you expect if your card declined? What would you do? What would you expect?
I would expect the other person to pay it, but I would absolutely apologize and give an explanation, especially if we went into it thinking, that
You were going to pay.
that I was going to pay for it.
Now,
At the bare
ladies,
minimum.
fellas, what would you all think if, okay, so that's Andre's. Now, listen, you can call it whatever you like. You can look at me however you like. Now, for me, it would depend. CJ, that's why you be on that board. Yes, I do. I'm always on some BS. It would depend. What would it depend on? If I'm feeling the dude, okay? So if there's some, if there's a little chemistry brewing, then I'm gonna pay for the whole thing. If there's no chemistry, you out. I'm sorry, sir. You're gonna have to call your mama and them. Somebody gonna have to come. Now I know listen, I already know. JC, that's bogus. No, it's not. No, it's not, because I'm gonna tell you, this is for those $40 dudes, the ones that have a problem with taking. Listen, you can't be the dude that say, well, if you ain't attracted to the man, then why you accepting gifts at the same? So why can't we do the same thing? If there was no attraction, I'm be like, well, I'm just looking. I'm like, well, ma'am, you can just, pay for this salad over here. And I'm like, sir, now, what happened? Like, what caused this, this situation? Can we talk about this? Because to me, I would be like, okay, unless there was a bank error, like you don't need to be outdated. Like, you need to be focusing on your finances. So to me, there may be a bigger issue. Cedric is saying, pay the check up and run my money back after we leave.
I totally agree. Just pay the person back and square up. You'll be fine.
Listen, Cedric, Y'all already know I ain't, I don't know. He gonna have to, have somebody have one of his boys cash app him or something. And Cedric said I'm gonna have somebody washing the dishes. Listen, you gonna have to make sure your stuff is together because again, if your finances are not in order, you know, again, we talked about this before. If your finances are not in order, then you shouldn't be dating. There could be a bigger issue there. However, if it was something where, man, his car just declined, something happened, but, he has the money. Again, it would depend on how the date is going at that time. Am I going to even listen and try to figure out what's going on? Or am I going to be like, you know what? I'm a part ways. Or if he seems like he's a genuinely good person, but there's no chemistry or there's no interest, then I'll pay it. But if he's full of himself and the arrogance and the cocky was on another level, you're gonna have to find a way to work this out, bro. Because I'm not going to be able to do it. But as a general rule of thumb, like I would just pay it. I would pay it again if there was some attraction, but if he had a stank attitude, this will humble you for the next go round. Maybe this will humble you and you will get yourself together. You will get your life together and not, come out here, and make sure your stuff is in order. But I wouldn't would you go on a second date with a person that their card declined? Would you give them a do-over and go on another date? What do you think about that? Would there be a do-over?
It also depends on like history. Like, have you known the person? Have you gone out with them before? Have they always paid? Has everything always been okay? This was a isolated incident where you thought, that is weird. It's moments like that where you like maybe do want to step in. Or if the person says, hey, my card is declined, do you mind taking care of this and I'll pay you tomorrow or on payday or whatever that is. Like, I'm totally good with that. I'm so okay with that. Would I give somebody a do-over? I guess it really depends like on their what you call that? I'm about to say track list, girl. What is that word?
Their track record?
Their track record. Thank you. I guess it really just depends on their track record. And if it's like somebody, this the first time you ever going out with them and they card get declined, I hate to be that way, but like, I don't think I would give them a do-over because I would just be so like turned off by it. I'd be like, man, forget about this. And I'm sorry that I would be like that, but it's like, dang, first impressions really are everything. So I don't know. I'm torn.
Yeah, again, it would definitely, your personality has to really win me over in order for there to be a do-over. And here's the thing, we live in a day and time where people like to test people to see how they're going to react. I can tell you right now, I will fail. So please don't even waste your time. Listen, you be better off playing Jenga with your grandmother than to play these type of games with me, because I'm not, oh, I just did that to see how you're going to react.
I hate that.
We don't even know each other well enough for you to even put me in a position to see how I'm going to act. This is our first time meeting each other. So now I'm glad that you did this. So now I can know how you are. So I can know that you like to play childish games. And this was a blessing for me. You helped me to go through the sorting process by playing this game. You helped me to go through the process, because I went out with a guy and we were, after dinner, we had just went out. It was like, we went for pizza and it was like, it wasn't a date. It was just like a little networking thing. So we met up. And so after we were done eating, I was sitting, because he paying for whatever. So the pizza, so there was some leftovers. So for me, I'm like, if we're eating together, like, I'm not taking the leftovers. Especially, I know you're paying. So I'm not reaching to grab this leftovers like, oh, I'm taking this with me. I'm not doing that unless you give it to me.
I was going to say, if you
offer it to me, but lovely. I'm not just going to go and start packing up the leftovers and say, oh, I'm taking this.
It's in bad taste.
I don't do that. So we're sitting there. For at least a good 10 minutes, and he didn't wrap the leftover pizza up. So the waitress came with the check and everything. So he paid the check, and so we're still sitting there. And so I was like, okay, well, you ready to go? And he's like, well, you're not gonna wrap the pizza up? I said, oh, I didn't know that you wanted me to wrap the pizza up. I said, I thought you were gonna take it. And he was like, well, no, I was just waiting to see what you were gonna do. I was waiting to see, was you gonna wrap it up for me? No. I said, if you wanted me to wrap it up, that's all you had to say. Don't sit here and watch and see what I'm gonna do. I'm not a mind reader.
That's annoying.
And I'm like, and I'm used to men doing things for, like, you're sitting up here thinking that I'm doing something wrong, and here all the time, I'm used to men doing this for me. I'm used to the men packing this up. I'm used to men packing my plate up and giving it to me or carrying it for me. So you're sitting here looking at me, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck. I'm like, he's like, when he said that he was testing me to see what I was going to do, I said, yep, I'm gonna put him right back in the pool. You can test somebody. You can test somebody else, honey, because I said it wasn't, to me, that wasn't a situation that even warranted that type of situation. Like, it didn't warrant a test. Like, if you wanted me to pack it, I have no problem with packing it. I would have packed it up. But I'm sitting up here trying to figure out, what the heck are we waiting on? Like, why are we still here? If you want me to pack it, pack it. But it's like, you got some dudes that would get mad at stuff like that because, oh, I paid for it. And so now she gonna take you see it all over social media. So it's like, at this day and age, it's very, listen, it's treacherous out here in these streets, you all. It is treacherous in these dating streets. It's like, you darned if you do, and you darned if you don't. But I'm like, needless to say, that brother got dismissed quickly. And I was like, you know what? Thank you for doing that up front, so I can know your level of immaturity, so I can know this is not what I'm going to deal with. Like, I don't have to deal with that. That simple thing right there helps you to get sorted and cut quick, fast, and in a hurry. And I'm like, now after that, I'm like, don't call me. You can't call me. I'm not interested in going out. Oh, what you mad? You got an attitude? No, I don't have an attitude. I'm not mad. That's done. You showed me who you are. And that's a big character flaw. So when people show you who they are, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta watch how people move. And when they show you some foolery and some bull junkie and you're not on that, then keep it moving. Like, move around. Don't sit here and waste time and say, okay, well, maybe he just had a moment. I'm gonna get, oh, child, look. Do not, just keep it moving. Now, look, speaking of keeping it moving, what do you all think about this situation? Now, I mean, I'm like, it's sad and it's ridiculous. And I know people have been getting on her, but this woman, she is going viral for being pregnant and homeless with her 6 children and having 4 baby daddies. So this chick, she's saying that she's intentionally having all of these kids just to collect the food stamps and the medical benefits. And she's like, oh, well, I get a check from each one of my kids, but you homeless. Like, she was literally pregnant as she was filming. And I'm hoping that this is a skit, because it's just like, these kids, God, it's like, come on, what are we doing? Like, like, poor kids, like, no stability. And she thinks that it's cute. She thinks that it's cute to have all of her kids, they're all living out of a car. I'm like, when I saw this story, I'm like, you know what? Where are your people? Where's your mother? Where's your grandmother, your aunties? Where is somebody? But when I heard her talking, I'm like, you know what? Can't nobody get through to her. You can tell just about the way she's talking that this is something that she thinks is a trend, and she thinks that it's a good thing to be in this type of situation, not even being concerned about the position that she is placing her children in. So listen, I'm not gonna knock this young lady. I'm not gonna do it. All I'm gonna simply say is, young lady, please take more control of your fertility, and know that having a kid, this is not a joke. You are affecting those children's lives. You owe them better. They're depending on you. They're depending on you to take care of them. They're depending on you to make sure they have food and a stable place to stay. They're depending on you for all of that. So please stop making reckless, careless decisions with your body that will only hurt your kids. Your kids are the only ones that are being hurt. That's it. Only your kids. Now, speaking of being hurt, what do you all think about this? What would you do in a situation if you saw your best friend's spouse on a date with someone else? Would you tell your best friend, or would you leave that situation alone? What do you think, Andre? What should somebody tell their best friend if they saw that? Or
Yes, I'm telling right away. Also, again, in the slight chance that it's not a best friend, it's someone I work with. And one night they were like, let's go to a bar. And she brings her boyfriend and introduces us. And then a week later, I see him randomly at the movies with some girl. Maybe in a slight chance like that, I'm not saying anything. But you said best friend.
Yes.
Okay, I'm telling.
What do you all think? If you saw best friend, you saw their partner out and they were on a date, would you tell your best friend that you saw their mate on a date, or would you kind of just, let it go? And my thing would be, so I would look at it like this. Do you think that people really want to know? Because see, that's a sticky situation, because the last thing that I want to do, I mean, nobly, yes, this is my friend. Yes, I want to tell my friend. But I also know that people like to blame the person that the witness. So instead of checking your man or checking your woman, you want to get mad at me. Now you're gonna fall out with me because I saw your man or your woman living foul. Do I really want to be in that type of situation? Do I really want to fall out with my friend about catching their person? So ideally, what I would like to happen would be that the person, they saw me, and that you would go and tell your person before, because you're thinking that I'm going to tell. So it will take it off of me. So I would give it about a day. And if I don't get a phone conversation from my friend with them telling me their partner did this, then I'm going to reach out to the partner and I'm be like, listen, you need to tell her, because look, I'm not trying to fall out with her over that. So you need to handle that. And if he's like, oh, that ain't your business, that don't got nothing to do with you. That's my girl. I saw you, so it is my business. And I want to protect her. That's my friend. Flip side, do people really want to know? Because I was in a situation where I told.
They don't.
And the chick got mad at me because I'm like, what the heck? Like, so that kind of shut me down from wanting to be the good Samaritan, because he was able to tell her, he's like, well, she not in no relationship. She ain't in no serious relationship. So she don't know what it is. She just broke up with him. So she mad. So she trying to, I said, oh, if you gonna let him pull that on you, I don't have nothing else to say about it. So you let him play the dummy. So it wasn't until he has a side baby, now she come back, I should have listened to you. So now you think I'm gonna be big enough and I'm gonna hold this I told you so. No, I'm not. I'm like, see, had you listened to me when I told, I know I shouldn't. Don't. This ain't the time to be telling me I told you so. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Because you didn't have no problem with snapping on me, telling me what he said about me. You had no problem with telling that to me. So therefore, I have no problem with withholding my I told you so. You're going to get all of this I told you so. And you better leave him alone. But after that situation, I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing about your relationship with him anymore because
that part.
Because I'm already like, I just want you to be well. I want you to be happy. But when we talk, you can never tell me no more problems that you have between you and him. You can't tell me none of that. I don't want to hear it. Oh, well, he did this. We're not talking about this. So we need to go ahead on and talk about something else, because this relationship, I don't want to be accused of trying to break up your relationship. So therefore, I don't want to hear about it. Well, I need to vent. Well, you're gonna have to find somebody else to vent to, because I can't listen to it, because I've already formed my opinion about him. I don't like him. But if you like him, I respect you enough to not have a problem with him. But that don't mean I have to listen to you calling and crying. Oh, well, he done did this, he done did. Because I'm just like, how many times? Like, how many times do you listen to somebody complain about the same person cheating? How many times? Because me, I'm just like, listen, you're killing my brain cells with this foolishness. Like, literally, like you are. Well, say something. So everybody that knows me know that when I don't have nothing to say, I get real quiet, Andre. I get real quiet, because I know if I say what I want to say, it's not gonna work out well. It's not gonna work out well. I have been put in situations where people have asked me, you can be honest, tell me what you think. Listen, you all, if somebody tell you to be honest about their significant other, do not be honest. I have fallen into the trap twice, and I have gotten blamed. I'm just like, oh my God, you asked me, what you think about him? I'm like, no, I'm serious. What you think about him? Do you think? So I go tell my little spiel. You think that? I'm just like, I didn't know I was going to be cast into the fire because you asked me, what did I legitly think? So now, you all, people don't want you to tell what you legitly think. People only want to hear what they want to hear.
Yeah.
They only want to hear. So if she thinking he the apple of her eye and he the best thing walking, that's what she wants to hear from you. She wants you to co-sign her foolery. I'm not going to co-sign the foolery. So I'll just, I want to change the subject, or I want to, let's go ice skating. Let's do something. I just don't want to talk about your man. And I don't like giving people advice, because then if it's wrong, it comes back on, because people want to find a way to blame somebody else opposed to being accountable for their own foolery. You have to take responsibility. You got to take responsibility for your actions. You got to take responsibility for your relationships. Cedric is saying, if you like it, I love it, is my motto. Cedric, I like to say that too. If you like it, I love it. But people know that I'm lying when my people know that I'm lying when I say that, because that means that I have shut down. Like, I don't want to be in it. Leo is saying people want to hear the lie. They definitely want to hear the lie. And I'm just like, you know what? At this point, I'm gonna give you, I already know what you want. So I'm gonna give you what you want, and I'm gonna try to just, try to skate my way out of it as much as possible. But there's nothing worse than just dealing with somebody that, that you consider a friend, and they have somebody that is not on the up and up, and you have something that you need to tell them, and it doesn't work out in the end for them. Now listen, you all, speaking of not working out, fellas, let me know, have you ever been in this type of situation? And ladies, what do you think? Is this a valid point? Now, for the ladies that wear weaves, wigs, and extreme makeup, you got the BBLs and all these lifts. This is lifted up, this is tucked, all this. What happens when the man sees the real you and he isn't attracted? He's not attracted to you. He's attracted to all the MAC makeup you have and the eyelashes, and that's what attracted him. But when you take all of that stuff off, he's not attracted to the real you. Do you think men are wrong for that? Because what do you think, like, even when you see women that are all glammed up and then you see them without
you know what?
I
don't think men are wrong for that, but you know what? Women have the right to. I would have to think that's the beautiful thing about being a woman, that you can transform yourself and do that. And women have the right to do that. And you know what, ladies, if that's how you want to go about yourself, go for it, because that's how you know the guy is not for you, because he's going to love you with or without the makeup. I will tell you though, ladies, guys always prefer a natural girl.
Really?
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I've heard that from so many straight men, my brothers, everyone I think prefers natural. I think people like those BBL girls because it's such a fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the end of the day, I think guys want to marry a natural girl.
And I listen, I would have to agree with that statement, because the BBLs and all this, it's like it's good for show. Like, I'm gonna get attention, but when I'm ready to settle down and be in my everyday life,
I agree. If you're a celebrity, fine. What do you need all that if you're a regular person? I just never understood that. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
I don't get it. And don't go too big, ladies. Just natural. It shouldn't look like you did anything. You know, it's getting out of control. I shouldn't have a say in this because I'm a man, but I'm just saying.
But you see it though. I mean, it's so much. And I'm with you. I don't believe that a man is wrong if he feels like once he sees the real you and he's not attracted to that. And that's the downside of overdoing it and doing all of this makeup and all this stuff. That's the downside to doing it, because it's like when you take it off, you look so different. And he's just like, well, this is not who I want. Like, this is not who I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to the chick that you just went in that bathroom and wiped off, and you took all of this off. That's who I'm attracted to. So fellas, I'm with you on that. I am not opposed to, I don't feel like a man is wrong for, not being attracted to a woman if once she reveals who she is, and if she looks drastically different, and if that drastic difference does not get the same feeling, or he doesn't like that drastic difference, he's not wrong. Like, he's not wrong for that. So I believe, like, listen, if you're gonna dress it up, push it up, and all this and that, that's fine. But before getting in a serious relationship or making a commitment, I believe that you owe it to him, so that he can see how you owe it to yourself, just so there are no ahas and no gotchas. So, like, now you all, God forbid, you all get together and get married, and then now you're comfortable with him at home, and now you stop doing all of this stuff, and he's like, this is not who I like.
Yep.
This is not who I married. Like, why you didn't show me all of this beforehand? Like, why you wait until we get married, and now you want to show me, oh, well, you don't have any hair, or you or no teeth, or your skin is bad, all of this stuff that women, thankfully we have the option to hide all of that, but men don't have that luxury. So it's like, if they have to show up as their authentic self, at some point you have to show up as your authentic self as well, to show the guy who you are, so he can decide, okay, is this, am I okay with this? Because again, sometimes it's like, listen, with the eyelashes have become this huge thing. The filters, we're not even going to talk about these filters on these phones. Like, the filters are amazing because
they
listen,
work wonders.
I have seen listen, it's been Facebook friends that I've seen on Facebook, never seen them in real life. And then you see them in person, and their real life pictures have all these the filters and stuff. And I've seen like 2 or 3 women like that in real life. And I'm like, like we're Facebook friends. And I'm just like, are we really? And they tell me their name. And I said to myself, shut up. You are not, this is not you. I'm just like, oh gosh. I'm like, oh snap. So I know as being a woman, and if I have been, a little shocked, I know that the fellas may feel the same way. And it's just real tricky. Now, listen, the flip side to that is a lot of you fellas are saying, yeah, show up as you naturally would anyway. You know what? I would like to say that I agree with you all on that, but let's be honest. It's a lot of women that are natural, and you all don't pay attention to their pictures on social media. You don't pay attention to their posts. So you all have to make up your mind, fellas. Y'all got to make up your mind. Where are you at? Do you want the natural chick that she will post all these little pretty pictures and she good and wholesome looking, and you looking for the hoe? See, you can't be doing that, y'all. You say you want she nice and natural. I bet you I can find 10 natural chicks and their pictures have less than 5 likes. But I can find you 2 hoes and they got 2,000, 500,000 likes, shares, and everything. So if you really are for the natural chick, then y'all got to start showing them some love, because they feel like the other chicks, they feel like the BBLs, that's winning. The BBLs and all the big stuff, all of that is winning. Ladies, you shouldn't have to feel like that. You should be natural and feel confident and secure in who you are. You have to tell the world it's going to get whatever. Listen, it's going to get whatever I give it. I'm bringing bada bing and bada bang to the table, and you are going to get, listen, you're going to get what I give. Listen, the summer beach body, listen, those days, listen, honey, it's over with. I'm trying to keep my hip and my spine from hurting. So I don't have time for all of this foolishness. Okay. So you have to listen, you have to be comfortable with giving the world whatever it is that you have to give, but make sure it's your best you, because if you don't like it and you're not happy with yourself, we ooze those vibes.
People can tell.
Like, they totally can tell. Like, oh man, oh, she's trying too much. She's doing too much. Listen, be comfortable.
I agree.
With who you are.
I agree.
You have to show up in this world
as yourself. And natural is better. And I went through that myself too. Even guys go through it. I went through a period in my life where I over filtered and over edited my photos, and then I just thought, why am I doing that? I was like, always put your best foot forward without lying. I'm like, and you don't need to do that, because I'm like, you don't even look like that in person, and the way you look like is fine. So I just want to share that with people.
Absolutely. I never knew that.
Just, you can use a little filter here and there, but I feel like no need to overdo it. Just like plastic surgery. I'm not against it. I'm not against a little nip and tuck. I'm not against a little filter here and there, but just don't overdo it. I always say, like, don't over exaggerate yourself. Don't make yourself look like a cartoon or a caricature version of yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Because it's like, when you're done, when you take this makeup off, I should be able to recognize you as you are with the makeup on versus without the makeup on. Like, enhancements. Like, I have makeup on now. This is as much as, unless I'm like going for a photo shoot or something, then I'll go have it professionally done and it'll be big and dramatic. But just like, every day, like every day, I don't wear makeup. Listen, I don't have. Listen, y'all barely catch me. Well, I'm not gonna tell y'all what else I don't be wearing, but y'all look, cause see, some of y'all nosy. See, y'all thought I was gonna say it, didn't you? But it's just like you just have to be free and confident in who you are, because your confidence, believe it or not, is what attracts and draws other people to you. It's not the hair, it's not the clothes, it's not the makeup, it's not the any of this stuff, because I've seen women that I thought that were very beautiful without any of this stuff. And then you go and I'm just like, now why would she mess her face up?
I see that all the time. Oh my God. I can't tell you how many times I see people, men and women, that are good looking. They get surgery and they look a mess. And I think to myself, why did you do that?
Yes.
You look so good. I
Yes.
can't tell you, Jay, how many celebrities I've seen in person and they look like monsters. I'm like, who is telling you you look good? Because you look crazy. And fellas, yes, you can do a little surgery, but don't think you can do what the girls do, because it doesn't always land well with men. And girls can do like hair and makeup and lashes and all that stuff that guys really can't.
Right.
You know?
With the, because I know they get the fillers and the lip fillers and the Botox.
Yes, the guys are doing that now. I saw a video of guys getting their tattoos, their lips tattooed pink.
Did you see the tattoo on the eyebrow?
You guys, that's ridiculous. But I will tell you, back when Michael Jackson came out with Thriller, he had got his eyebrows tattooed.
Did he?
Right before the video. So there are these radical beauty trends out there that have been around for ages and come from all over the world. And I know, you know, me and my mom would be fascinated by those kinds of things. And I know there's beauty in everything, even ugliness. But again, guys, a little bit goes a long way.
Well, listen, take the word of a man, Andre Bellos, that is in the industry, that has seen a lot, that is doing his thing. Listen, take it from him, because I'm just like, listen, little old me, I just, you know, listen, the everyday people that I see shock me. Every day. Listen, I'm like, now I'm like, girl, you got all of that to be up in, what you got all this up in Starbucks, you getting my coffee and you got all of this, but I'm like, I literally be distracted. I'm not gonna lie, Andre. I'll be like, well, I don't forgot what I'm supposed. Girl, what you need all this for?
I get it. I totally understand. Like, one side of me is like, you go, girl. But then the other side of me is like, you know, some people get offended by it. And what I really think it is that our minds sometimes feel so sexy and we just want to do it, but we know doggone it, we ain't got the body for it. So we shouldn't be wearing that stuff. And I totally understand it. And I love the confidence. But you know what? I see it. Like, sometimes I'm at the mall, or like somebody will be walking past wearing an outfit that, you know, maybe they shouldn't be wearing. Maybe they're kind of hanging out of it a little bit. And people are like, oh my God, did you see that? Why is that? Why was that? People think it's disrespectful. So it's like, it's not about being censored. It's about like portraying yourself in the best light. And isn't it like, I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to be fake, I don't want to be phony, but it's like, as you get older, you have to be less and less rebellious, and more conservative, in my opinion. But there's a lot of cool people that, you know, are radical and are older.
And see, and it's just like, you know, just comment. I will take it how they used to tell us in the church. You have to be decent and in order. Listen, you have to keep, it's so much stuff that we want to do just because we can do it. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing. Yes, I could probably squeeze one leg in the size 6. I probably could, but is it the right thing to do? No, it's not. I could probably squeeze a tight small shirt on and can't breathe, but you know, it's not a good idea. You know, so we all, most of us, I would say, have those short. Listen, okay, I can buy the small, which 9 times out of 10, I got about 2 to 3 minutes to put on before I faint in it. Or I could just buy the medium to the large and be extra comfortable in life as well. You all, I have to choose the comfort because it's too much. Like, I get tired. I'm not gonna be sitting up here holding my breath. Just holding my breath. I'm like, oh shoot, I knew I shouldn't have drunk. I knew I shouldn't have had that. Okay, I done had it. So now y'all gonna have to see it. Until my planks and my sit-ups and all the other stuff start to, being effective, until I get off of the falling off the gym bandwagon. Gotta get back on it. But until then, you know what? You have to show up as you are. But listen, you have to do things that and dress in a way that you are comfortable, but you're also being true to yourself and without deceiving other people. I don't have a problem against makeup, women wearing makeup. I don't have a problem with people beautifying themselves. But if you're overdoing it, you have to understand that, when you reveal your true self, it may not be accepted to the person that you were involved with because they may feel deceived. And
That's
to
right.
some point, to some degree, they have been deceived, because when you wash all of that off, especially if you know that you're the person that you're wearing all that because you don't like what you see. And if you don't like what you see, when they see it, they're not going to like it either.
Right.
So it's like, now that adds to your pressure of having low self-esteem and, insecurity issues, because you already, to begin with, you didn't like what the canvas was made of before you put all that makeup and stuff on. And that's a sad place to be in. Like, that's a really sad place to be. So if you are somebody out there that, that don't really feel like, that you like what you see on the other side of the mirror, stop, pause right there, and work on loving that person without putting anything else on, until you can be okay and fall in love with who you see back. Nobody else will.
Love yourself.
You have to.
And if you don't, no one else will.
They won't.
Can I get an amen?
They will not. And it's like, and it's toxic, and nobody wants to be around a person like that, because you'll always be critical of yourself. I know I'm too big to have this on, but I put it on anyway. And I know I shouldn't be. Like, what the heck? Shut up. If you knew that, why are you wearing it? Like, don't look. Wear your makeup. Wear your push-up bras and your butt pads and all this and that. But just know that at some point, if you're involved with somebody, you have to reveal the real you to them. And if you're not happy or content with who you are, you can't expect them to be happy, except or be content with who you are. So it starts with you, and your confidence will rub off on them. Believe it or not, your confidence will be like, okay, look at her, because confidence is it's attractive. Confidence is very attractive. So just try that on for size. Now listen. Speaking of trying it on for size, you all look. Tonight, we are talking about celibate. You heard, not celibate, it's the other one. Celibate after 30. Is it really worth it? Or are people wasting their time? You're like, listen, you done got it in all in your teens and your 20s. In your early 30s, now you decide to be celibate for what? Why are you celibate? What purpose is being celibate now after all of these years of getting it in? Is being celibate after 30 worth it? Or listen, you already deep in the game, you may as well finish. What do you think about that question? They like, listen. You done already had your share. You're not a virgin. You done already listen. You are listen.
It's a reset, honey.
Right. It's like they like, look, you done look.
Oh my God.
You done did some. Look, your grandmama probably turning in her grave from all of the tricks that you done did. And now you talking about you gonna be celibate. What? What's the purpose? This is what I have heard men. Some of you all, because listen, some of you all get on my nerves. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. I love y'all, but some of y'all be getting on my goddamn nerves with this. But being celibate after 30. First, let's talk about what is celibate. According to an online source, celibacy is the state of voluntarily being unmarried, sexually abstinent, or both, usually for religious reasons. In a wider sense, it is commonly understood to only mean abstinence from sexual activity. So a lot of times, the true definition of being celibate, again, it has a lot to do with religious reasons. But I want to add a little curveball to it. Some of you all are making people, you all are making being celibate a walk in the park because it's so much lying, cheating, deception, trickery. People are not like, so to me, sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with being religion or even you having a high body count and you need a reset body wise. You need a reset mentally because people are on so many games today. So many games today. So it's like when you when men, a lot of you all, when they hear celibate, they're like, oh, okay, so she's celibate for me, but she giving it a look. So what are your thoughts on celibacy and being celibate, just in general, a general rule of or practice? If a guy says, you know what, listen, I'm going to be celibate, I've been through too many things, I just need, like you said, a reset. Would that be a deal breaker for you? Is that a red flag for you?
No, it just depends where you're at on your journey. And on one hand, I don't blame people for wanting to be celibate because there's so much trash out there. You know what I'm saying? And people are not being true to themselves. They're not being true with their status, their health, what they really like, and they're just kind of running amok. So on one hand, I understand it. Is it a red flag when someone tells me they're celibate? No, it's not. And if I don't want to have sex, then it's cool. But if you're in a place in your journey where you want to have sex, then it's like, okay, well, then let's be friends because I want to have sex and you don't. I will tell you this though, Jay, I'm 38 years old, but in my 20s, from 21 to 27, for 7 years, I was celibate.
Really?
Do you believe that?
I do.
And my story is slightly different, but anyways, yeah. So I when you brought that up, that was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, I want to say that.
And it's like, it's cool because it's like, to me,
and they be saying there's all these benefits to it. I've been reading about it now. I didn't know about any of that. The reason I had done it was a totally different reason.
Right.
Like now when I'm almost 40, I'm reading about like all these benefits to it or whatever. But I'm just like, wow, that's so insane. I had done it for a totally different reason.
And see, here's what my view on celibacy is. If you're gonna be celibate, make sure that's a decision that you've made for yourself, because that's what I decided to do. I decided to just put myself in a timeout, and this is what I want to do. I want to be celibate. Do it for you. If you decide to come back in the game, do it for you. Because here's what I realized. You'll get cheated on when you celibate. You'll get cheated on when you sexually active with them. So
do you, boo?
What's the benefit? Like, what's the point? So if you're gonna be celibate because that's something that you want to do.
That's right.
Do I think, now I will say this, be mindful when you're celibate. And I don't think that this is something that you necessarily need to tell men. I would not Here's why, Jay. Now, I think that that's wrong and that's deceitful. It's for safety purposes. You have to protect yourself, because if people find out that you've been celibate for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, for some crazy people, you become a target. Now you become a conquest. Now they're trying to prove that you. Oh, she been.
They can break that.
Yes.
Oh, people are so
and
weird
then they leave you.
Ugh, I'm so sick of people.
They leave you.
It's giving mad.
So
weird.
You have to be very mindful. If you are celibate, again, you can just say, listen, I'm not ready to take that step right now. I'm not ready. But don't dare divulge all of your personal information, telling people how long you've been celibate. Listen. The old folks used to say, everybody business ain't nobody business. That means all your personal business, it ain't everybody's business. Because guess what? Everybody is not happy for you.
That's right.
They're not happy. You actually have some sick people out here that will pretend that, and you're telling them how to take you down. You're telling them all the things that you're looking for in a person. So now they become everything that you're looking for. You drop your guards, give up your celibacy.
And for what?
Knew, right.
And for what?
Just to be back out there in the game. So you have to be very mindful of disclosing all of that, all of your personal information, because again, it's for your safety. And fellas, again, it's not because she's not playing games. Again, she don't know if you a creep versus a good dude. So she has to protect herself. And fellas, if you are somebody that is celibate, you have to protect yourself as well. Because again, people are not on the up and up. Like, people are not right.
You're not wrong, dude. And I had to learn that the hard way.
People are not right. People's hearts are not.
They're not
right. Like,
people are battling so much childhood trauma. You have no idea. No one has fixed themselves. I see it when I'm driving. People are so unhinged. And I'm like, they're doing crazy things unprovoked. And sometimes it makes me want to do the same. And I think to myself, like, what happened to you?
That's right.
Why are you acting like that?
True. The slightest things.
It's crazy out here. And you know what, Jay? The temperature in the world right now is hot.
Very.
Girl, the mic is hot.
Very.
So we have to watch what we say, guys. You know what my message is? Share a message of peace and love with your brothers and sisters. Watch the company you keep. If you want to be celibate, do it for you. If you don't, that's fine. Don't be pressured into having sex. Protect yourself. And I know a lot of people from my community, you know, will always want to pressure you to have sex without a condom. Always have sex with a condom. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to be celibate for those 7 years, because I'm gay. So like, I was scared of HIV, and I was like, I don't want to have sex. I don't even know what to do.
True. Not even being gay, just period. These folks are reckless.
Is it scary out here or what?
It very.
And I've talked to so many straight women who are like, Andre, it's scary for us too.
And because you know,
because men like men and women. That's the T. Sorry, I'm just gonna say
this. No, it's so,
which is fine,
so true.
But the problem is, guys don't want to say it because they don't want to be put in that box. And I also don't blame guys for that, because it does suck. But at the same time, it's like, live your truth, or live it in a way where if you don't want to divulge it, you're not putting people at risk.
And that's the thing. Yes, but, and they're not doing that.
And the reason they're not doing it is because girls don't play that ish. It doesn't matter how careful you're being. Once a girl finds out that you also like men, they are scared of that. Because they're like, oh my God, could I catch something? Could something happen to me? And it's not that it's mean or wrong that they do that. It's just that everybody reacts differently when you are in a fearful position. And when you're playing with someone's health, that is fearful.
And then you don't. And I think another thing too is just the lying factor. Like, a woman has nothing to do with the time that you had to come to grips with who you are. But in that time, you've lied to me and you've deceived me. So now I can't trust you. So naturally now I'm on guard. There's nothing you can say to undo that, because you've lied through this whole process. So if you lying to yourself and you've lied to me, Now I can't trust you.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. So if you was to say up front, I might be, and I know this may be hard for men to say, but like you have to give people the choice
if they want to participate or not.
Exactly. And that's for anything.
Yes.
That's for anything. That's just not for alternative lifestyle. That's for anything. Give me the choice. Don't take away my options. If you are out here seeing other women, let me know. If I am one of many, let me know so I can decide if I want to stay in this ish. But the problem that we have in today's society is that people are playing the field, but you're not protecting people.
Oh.
You are not. So, and listen, ladies, if these guys are pressuring you, listen, just let them go.
Agreed.
Let them go, because the more pressure that they put on you, that's the more people that they involve with. They're just not involved with you. They're just trying to take you down real quick and then go on. Any guys that I found, any men that have a problem with a woman being celibate, or if they bashing you because of you being celibate, to me, I think that that's a red flag. Because what does her personal choice have to do with you? Because let's be real, some of these men will make it seem like you're choosing to be celibate, it's a punishment to them. Like, oh, now she holding out on me. Sir, she's been celibate before she met you. So how does this have anything to do with you? So, Jay, you say don't tell these men that you're celibate. I personally don't think that that's a wise idea. But I do think that if it comes up, when it comes up, I'm not ready right now. And you can so you're not taking away their choice if they want to be there with you or not. I'm not ready right now. Well, will you be ready? I'm not sure. But right now, I'm not ready.
Right.
I don't know, because I could get to know you and I could like you and say, you know what? I want to come off my celibacy tip. Yep. But right now, I don't know. But the last thing you need is for somebody to pressure you into doing something that, you know what, you're not ready to do. You don't want to do. The ones, listen, ladies, the ones that do all this barking about, oh, she's celibate because if they victim blame, like they're the victim. How the heck? That's her hoo-ha. She decided to put it under the tree for next Christmas, whatever she decided to do with it. How is that hurting you? What does, and then they try to make you feel bad, baby. I done seen the post, the guys, she done been ran through. That's why listen, if she been ran through, what are you worried about? Why are you there? Mm-hmm. What, you waiting for your turn to run through her and leave her?
That part.
So what's the big, be careful. Is being celibate after 30, is it worth it? That's an individual choice. That's an individual decision. Why are you celibate? You don't owe anybody any explanations. Your life is your life. Hold yourself accountable. Do what is best for you. But at the end of the day, don't go spreading all your business to these folks. Do what works best for you. If you decide that you celibate today and then you wake up tomorrow and you say, you know what? I'm done with my journey. I'm clear. I'm thinking clearer. I'm moving clearer. That's your choice. But know that there are benefits to being celibate. Listen, I'm going to tell you the biggest benefit. You are not creating all of these soul ties. When you sleeping with people, it's soul ties. You create a soul tie with each person you sleep with. Fellas, so when you feeling like, you made her crazy because you put it on her. No, honey, you have created an ungodly soul tie and she can't shake you. She can't shake the craziness now. So now here you are. Fellas, the same way. Soul ties are created. You don't owe anybody any explanations. If you decide to be celibate, do it because it's something that you want to do. If you decide to come off of your celibacy journey, do it only because you want to do it. But don't lash on, don't let these people that, because there's a whole, listen, there's a community of dudes that bash women for everything that they do. They bashing them because they sleeping with all these dudes. They bashing them when they older and they're virgins. They're bashing them when they celibate. Listen, you're just gonna have people that are not happy about anything. The most important thing is, do you and be happy about your decision and where you are in life. Guys, I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do me a favor, you all. Go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe to our channel. That's the Jaye Spot Radio. Go to our Facebook page, like and subscribe to our channel there. That's the Jaye Spot. Go to our Instagram, like and follow us, the Jaye Spot, Jaye, for all three. Andre, give them your information on where they can vote for you and what you got coming up.
Yes. So once again, thank you so much for having me on, Jay. I love being here at the Jaye Spot. It's the best radio show on Intellectual Radio. And you guys can check me out. It's your boy, Andre Bellos. My website's andrebellos.com. But please vote for me if you believe I'm the next style icon. And I'm hoping that Jay put the link in the box because I am butchering it.
Oh, I put it in the box.
I love you guys. And I just want to lastly say to everybody watching, go for your dreams, because at the end of the day, nobody knows what you're truly capable of but you. And I want to say, Jay, thank you so much for including me in today's conversation.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, you all, peace out. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. Listen, put that thing up. It's your thing. If you want to put that thing up
for hitting the Jaye Spot on IntellectualRadio.com.